We in the office.
Just say it how you feel.
Facts.
Say it how you feel.
Oh! We in the office. Oh! Welcome back to Say It How You Feel. Today we have a special episode for you guys, man. This one is gonna harp on those feelings of just like, man, fuck it, right? It's like a man fuck it episode.
I
Don't you
mean,
agree?
I wouldn't say it's a man fuck it episode. It's more of a, you know what, like you're right. Yeah, it is a man fuck it. Like you know what? I don't like the way that comes out there. You know, a man fuck it episode. I don't like the way that's put together. It is I'm gonna do whatever the fuck. Like, who gives a fuck? There you go. Who gives a fuck type
Who gives a
episode.
fuck? There you
That's a
go.
who gives a fuck type episode. Like, just don't let
Just
it.
go with the flow.
Let's get to it. Let's get to it.
Yeah. Well, listen, before we dive headfirst into this bad boy, I'm Say,
I'm Mo.
and this is Say It How You Feel. Welcome back again. So, me and Mo was talking, man, and a lot of things as we get older too, and we start having these, we'll call them urges, not midlife crisis, just urges to be like, fuck it, right? I want to do this. I want to do that. I think I deserve this. I know I deserve this. Let me just do this shit, right?
Yeah. When you carry the weight of the world on your shoulders all the time as a dad, as a black man, as a father, it's like you always carry that weight. So sometimes you just go through these moments where it's like, like fuck it. Like
Yeah.
you gotta live without judgment. And me and the wife was having this conversation. We was talking about, religion, and we was talking about the trans issue, right?
Hmm. Right.
And she was saying like, like why would somebody be mad about, the schools teaching kids about it, you
Mm.
know? And she was like, I would rather them talk to them about it than for me to have to talk to them about it, because it's like I'm not equipped to tell you about,
Mm.
the studies behind it, where the science is. And I was saying, yo, I agree. I agree. They teach sex education in school. They should teach about, when they teach sex education, they should teach about the trans, anything in that community, LGBT, like that should be addressed when we go through sex ed. I'm not
Okay.
for teaching kids about that shit in first, second, third. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not
Mhm.
for, like, it should be boy and girl up until we get to sex education. Once we get to sex education, now we can, okay.
But okay, well, this is awesome. I know this is gonna we're gonna feed this beast real quick, but this is going slightly off of the maybe not,
Well,
but
because let me bring it back real quick.
go ahead. Do
So
you think?
we're talking about that, and I came to the point, like, at this point, like, who gives a fuck, really, if they don't agree with you that we shouldn't teach kids at a young age. Like,
Hmm.
I don't want it in the cartoons. Who gives a fuck if you don't like that I don't want my kids to see that in cartoons? You know, they
Mm.
gonna hate you whether you do, or they gonna hate you whether you don't. It's like,
Facts.
does it matter? It don't. At the end of the day, it's all about you and your family. It's about protecting what you can, protecting the innocence from them that you can. You know what I'm saying?
That's
My
right.
words are kind of fucking up, aren't they?
No, no,
Yeah.
it seems like you're flowing. So like you're flowing.
Okay.
Uh, Tag, because I'm ready to get in this motherfucker.
Go
Listen,
ahead. You got it.
because this is a conversation I have every day. Every day I have this conversation with my girl. Listen to me. First things first. I agree. I do agree to a certain point. I do believe that when it comes to sex ed, there should be a conversation about the LGBTQ I as of recently, I believe, community, right? That
What's the
should
I stand for?
I have no idea. I am not even gonna ask. I'm just gonna mind my business, right? But but my thing is like, yo, they should definitely have these conversations. I agree, but I feel like the age is where they get me. The
Yeah.
other day, I'm like, yo, how was school? She's like, oh, it's good. I was like, okay, what was good about it? She's like, just going out, having a good time. I was like, did you learn anything? She's like, yeah. I was like, what? She's like, I learned about sexual harassment. And I was like, okay. So I was like, what's sexual harassment? And I had her explain it to me, and she explained it. I was like, is it just touching, or is it? And she was like, no, it's when they say, certain things too. I was like, okay, well, they did a good job explaining it.
Mhm.
But my thing is like, I kind of feel like that opens that door. She's 10 years old. That opens that door to other questions, as in what's sexual, what's sex, what's this, what's that. and I don't know if a 10 is the I personally don't know if 10 is the appropriate age to have these conversations. That's my problem with all this stuff.
Yeah,
What do you
yeah.
think? I mean,
I
it doesn't really
mean,
it matters, but it doesn't matter. What do you think? Because I'm gonna get to my next point.
being a dad to girls, like I'm thinking like once a period happens, now we
Mhm,
have to explain what a period is. And
mhm,
when you explain what the menstrual cycle is, that opens the door for like you kind of gotta explain, you
mhm,
know, like this is the woman's body is so amazing, right?
mhm,
It works miracles on a regular basis. So you got to explain this to the person that's in this body. You know, what I'm saying? Like they need to know what
mm,
their body, the power that they have. You know,
mhm.
so and I feel like women are a lot more responsible with that type of information and can handle that type of information better than men can at that age too. You know what I'm saying?
No,
I don't know.
yeah.
Have you
No, no,
like
okay, yeah.
okay, go ahead.
I no, no, I agree, right? I do
Mhm.
agree. It depends on the woman, child, or in between, right?
And
It
because
depends.
boys don't have to deal with it with blood coming out their dick. You know what I'm saying?
They
Like
don't.
that'd be terrifying, bro. Like what is the explanation behind my dick bleeding? I
Right.
need to know.
Oh god. I mean, yes, I absolutely 100%, right? 100%. Here's the problem though. What happens when, let's say that little woman gets her period at 9 years old, which is the earliest in some cases, but it happens a lot. What
Mhm.
happens then? This is where this child, it's a child still, is
Yeah.
not even in double digits yet. And now we're having to educate them on sex.
Yeah. That's a
You
oh
get what I'm saying?
man. Yeah.
And 10, I still again, I personally feel like as a parent,
That's
I
too
do not
early.
have a
I was like,
girl
you ain't
yet.
gotta go into the details. You know what I'm saying? You could just
No,
break it
but
down to, the reproductive science behind it. Like this is what happens, boom, boom, and then there you go. A baby comes out. Teach her
I
with
still
animals.
huh?
To teach with animals.
Yeah, you can teach with animals. Like you can teach this with animals, but the problem is I still feel like the brain capacity, bro, to understand this. It's I'm not saying we should shield them because we all know we can't shield them. On a daily basis,
Yeah.
I'm combating the TV, I'm combating social media, I'm combating other kids and their households, and it's a losing
Exactly.
battle. Trust
Yeah.
me. My son was
Yeah.
talking about this kid in his class talking about porn. And all this nigga has to do is go on his phone and say, "Hey Siri, what's porn?" and done. That's it.
Boom.
He's gone. Right?
Yep.
I'm not sure if he has done it yet, but every time that word comes up, I look at him and he starts smiling. I'm like, this nigga knows something. He knows something, bro. And I'm like, please, God, just give me a
Well,
couple more years.
I mean,
It's
when was the first time you seen a titty
bro, honestly, the
and
first
knew what the titty was? Like,
and it was like, that's a titty, right?
yeah, look at that titty. Yeah.
uh damn. Could I have been 9? Could I have been 10? I don't know, bro. Probably. I don't know,
I
man, but
was way younger.
I know.
Way younger. First time I seen a titty and really was like, that's a titty was
Oh God, here we
was
go.
from Dusk Till Dawn.
Mm.
I was
Summer Hike.
4 fucking years old, dog.
Shut up. Shut up. Who put you in front of the TV, bro?
I dog blame because like after that it was just like it was.
I see the
I had
deflection.
older cousins, you know what I'm saying? I
Oh
had older
man.
cousins. I got yeah, man. This is
Listen, I'm
uncles.
gonna be honest
Like
with you.
that's a
I
titty.
watched that movie with my girl the other day, right? And I
Yeah.
was like, damn, Selma Hayek is fucking bad, bro. She's like, yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. Her body was insane, bro.
I
Damn,
knew
okay.
I knew from the time I was 4 years old that the
That's a
mother of
titty.
my no the mother of my child was gonna be a Latino woman. I knew that at 4 years old. That's women, the woman I was settled down with was gonna be Latino. I knew that.
Oh shit. Oh my god. This nigga said
Yeah.
Spanish fly. I hear you, bro.
From the time I was I was a baby, and I knew.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Anyway, back to the point though. So the age, right? And do
Yeah,
whatever the fuck you want, right? But let's go back to this real quick. The age. Again, man, I feel like it's a little bit much, man. And I know like some people probably listening, but like, man, you listen, you can't shield your kids. It's a losing battle. I know
it
this already.
is. It's a losing battle, man. It's the
But I
same thing
wanted
with like Santa Claus, though.
it is. It is. and you're right. And some kids learn other times and, so on and so forth. But my thing is like, I try to combat this so much. Move Yeah, bro. Anyway, moving back to what we're getting, back to the point. Again, I just feel like when it comes to age and it comes to introducing them into sex, it's a rough topic for me because I'm like, I want to try to protect their innocence as much as possible because
Mhm.
I'm a cool ass dad, bro. I'm a call a spade a spade. I'm a cool ass dad. I love interaction with kids. I like chilling with them. I like, toughen them up. I love being a
Love
dad,
to
bro.
teach them. Yeah,
I love it.
like this is it's so vital.
It
It's
is.
really important.
You know what? I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that because we're gonna get to the next point. I think we did cover sex and age and do what you want and teach your kids. But before we do get to that next point about it being vital about the parenting, because that's my whole point of this episode, is I want to wrap this up by saying I don't really feel comfortable with schools taking on that burden of teaching our kids about that stuff until it's an age that we all can agree is appropriate. And I think
Mhm.
13 sounds like a good age. Do you agree?
I do agree. I believe that's when, I think that's what, 8th grade is
Yes, that's
when,
eighth
like,
grade.
leading into high school, they gave us these little fucking baby dolls. We had to take these dolls home. We had to fucking come up with a budget. She said, "This is how much money you make. You need to budget it through the month." Like, it was fucking it was it was stressful. It was a
Mm.
stressful year. But, yeah, I think that's the right time, about 13. About
Nick
13.
Nigga was home writing down, sitting up with the light on, like, damn, I gotta pay this light bill, this gas bill. God damn, this baby won't shut up.
Yeah, man.
Shit. Nah,
Yeah,
that's
it was
funny.
stressful, dog. But
Okay,
it's
so
cool.
13.
Yeah,
Yeah.
13. I think 13 is a good age. I think 13 is a
Okay.
good age.
Now, let's talk about something else, man. And you said it, you hit the fucking nail on the head, bro. My whole point of view for this episode when it comes to like do what you want. You know what I'm saying? My
Mhm.
whole thing about like do you stay true and can't lose. I see 30-year-olds, 40-year-olds, 50-year-old men and women making decisions that are so illogical. And I can't say this from an opinion standpoint. I have to say this from a factual standpoint. They're making such illogical decisions. It's scary. And a lot of it goes back to parenting, believe it or not, bro. A lot of it goes back to parenting.
Like, how so? What do you mean it goes back to parenting?
I'm going to tell you something right now. Even myself, I'm so tiny when it comes to the world and everything that goes on in it. But one thing I
Yeah, I
do
said that
understand,
shit last episode. Yes.
you did. Yes.
Yes,
Minuscule, right?
we've been here. Yeah, yeah.
Right. Correct. But one thing I do know is that parenting and talking to your kids on this type of level, like the way we do to our audience, is so vital because I'm seeing adults, bro, grown ass fucking men and women make decisions that are selfish, illogical, and filled with so much envy, maliciousness, and it's fucking scary. And a lot of it, I'm thinking, okay, well, it's either one or two things. Either that's how that person is, and they don't know better, or they really just don't give a fuck about nobody else. Would you like me to give you an example?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. I know someone who has stepchildren. They've had stepchildren for 8 years, right? Prior to them having stepchildren for 8 years, they had their kids about 6 years ago, right? So that's about a good 6 years having stepchildren before you had your own. And this individual,
Wait, a good
have
8
I
years
lost you?
having. Yeah, because your numbers
Okay.
fucked me up.
Okay. So they've
Regardless,
been
they
in a
had
relationship for
did they
8 years.
did they have stepkids before they had their own kids?
Yes, for 6 years.
Okay.
They've been in
Alright.
this relationship for 8 years,
Okay.
just about. Right. So now they have their own kids, right?
Mhm.
And they still treat their stepkids as if they're not their own. Like, for
Wow.
example, you have to pay me to watch my stepkids, or you have to pay me to pick up my stepkids, or you have to, you know what I'm saying? Or I don't want them here because they eat too much, or I don't want them here because they do like it's this type of behavior,
You are
right?
the parent, like, you're daddy now or your mom now.
That's
Either
right.
or, like, if you've been in this child's life for an
That
extended
long.
period of time,
Half of their life.
yeah, that's your kid, man. Like it is what it is. I hate people, dog. I hate people.
I don't know, man. I'm starting to hate people too. Like I don't know what it is, but I know like a lot of that shit comes from I mean, there's some people out there that just have like a the best way I can explain is like a very selfish mentality and personality, but that is like on a whole different level. And the crazy thing is that, and this is why I say parenting is so important, that person's parents are so loving, kind, and generous.
Mhm.
Generous to the degree that, they let's say they stay with them. So how can you, as a person who kind of somewhat feeds off your own parents, have that kind of mentality towards these children that have done nothing wrong to you,
Yeah.
actually try to build that relationship with you, and you every day you just disconnect yourself from that from that child and make it like y'all versus us. You know what I'm saying? It's a weird situation, bro, but that's
Bro,
just an example.
and that also, who are we to cast judgment on this person? Do what the fuck you want to do. That's you.
True.
That's something that you got to live with. You know what I'm saying? That's your cross to bear. That's your fucking problem. Do what you want to do.
Mm,
When you started talking about people thinking illogically, typically when you have someone who's thinking illogically, it's because they're not thinking. They're thinking with emotion. You know what I'm
mm,
saying? They thinking from the heart. They're not thinking from the brain. You know what I'm saying?
that's
They
true.
letting they letting their feelings get involved in some shit. So once the feelings get involved, no matter what it is, one feeling can change your life for the next 15, 20 years. You know what I'm saying? You
Yes.
you
Or
experiencing an
life.
emotion exactly or life. So it's just like a lot of people are they so caught up in feelings and don't take a second to just take a deep breath.
Mhm.
Just
Breathe, like you
let
said.
that shit swirl around a little bit before you decide to act on it. That's what they got out and tried to work on as a parent, before
Mm,
even reprimanding my kids. Let me take a deep breath before I say anything to you. let me just let me just chill because I hate to be mean. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to yell at my kids. I don't want to have to discipline my kids. But I know it's a part of being a parent. I know
yes.
it's vital that you instill these values in your kids of, they when I talked about, being a dad and having a world and shit, it's because I've been in the lines for so long,
Mhm.
you gotta do everything that you told. You gotta go to school, you gotta go to work, you gotta whatever it is, you are constantly doing something that somebody else is telling you to do. Sometimes you just gotta do some shit for yourself. Fuck it.
It's true.
Even if
I
it's
agree.
irresponsible.
You think
Even if
so?
it's irresponsible, sometimes you need that. You need
Mm.
an irresponsible purchase every once in a while. You know what I'm saying? Fuck it, I'm gonna treat myself. I know that the fucking gas is due, but fuck it, they ain't gonna cut me off this month.
Yo,
You-
okay,
Sometimes you
that
need a good like fuck
that
it.
that's my
Sometimes you just
irresponsible week, bro. I put 4 sneakers in 1 week, nigga. I only got 2 feet, so you know what?
yeah,
This
that's
my
definitely
irresponsible week.
but you might have needed that. You got that shit out your system.
I did.
Congratulations, nigga. Now it's time to get back to being get back in line, get your shit back in order, you know?
For real, bro. Okay, I agree. Okay, but damn, bro, like I don't know, man. I mean, I agree. Listen, do what the fuck you want to do. I'm
Yeah.
all for it, but I'm telling you right now, don't complain. And you know
Oh,
what? You by you doing what you want to do as a person who's looking from a distance, I am saying to myself, I am not gonna do that shit.
yeah,
So hey,
absolutely. It's
yeah,
you can't change somebody's character, man. You can't
I
change
know
somebody's character. Like we was talking about, we all fucking cells in this organism. Some people are germs, bacteria. You know, that's
it's
just
true.
what
Some of them are family members.
that's what they're meant to be. That's what they're meant to be. We all got a
Damn,
little bacteria in us. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got a germy side. It's okay though. Fuck it. Who cares?
you're
Who
right.
cares? Because at the end of the day, don't none of this shit matter anyways. It really
It's true,
doesn't.
bro.
But
You know what? You're right.
I try to make the best of it while I'm here. You know what I'm saying? I feel like this year has been a really trying year. And I'm at the
Mhm.
point where it's like, you know what? Something not working. Fuck it. You know, they gonna hate you or they gonna love you. Do it really matter at the end of the day though?
No,
As long as you achieving your goal, it don't matter what they think. It don't matter how they feel. Fuck feelings. Feelings can
it's
be
true.
changed so easily. You can change somebody's feelings. Like just give them the proper stimulus and boom.
That is so fucking true. Which is why logic supersedes all of that.
Facts.
And I do agree that, I one thing I do now and I'm gonna continue to do, and I pray to God that it's also luck or chance, or I really don't know what it is when it comes to parenting. There is no manual, but I'm
No.
going to really, bro. I'm going to give. I'm gonna have these conversations with my children. I have to. I
Yeah.
have no choice but to have these conversations with them, and I want to have these deep thought conversations. Like, what do you think about that shit? I want to pick their brains. I want to see how they would handle certain situations, and then be like, interesting. Because honestly, the future is within these little niggas. They
Yeah.
see things differently than we do, you know, and they have
Absolutely.
ideas that can possibly change this world that we know. For all you know, one of these little niggas could invent time travel.
Facts. One of them could cure cancer, you know?
Facts.
Yeah, it can the potential that is in children is it's
Limitless.
unmeasurable. It's
Exactly.
unmeasurable.
So what measures it? What stops it? What diminishes that shit? Society.
Society. Yeah.
Mm.
Boom. Oh, look at us. Man, you here.
Ours. Yes, we
But
are.
so when you started talking about having those conversations with your kids,
Mhm.
my dad used to have those conversations with me. My pops was more like a big brother than he was the actual father. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't live with
Mhm.
him. You know, I
Mhm.
still respected him as my dad, but it was like you know what I'm saying? Like that wasn't the authority figure in my life.
Right.
So we would take these rides. I can remember nigga, even back like a lot of people you act like some people say like you can't remember. It's impossible for you to remember times when you were, a baby.
Mhm.
But I can remember being 3, 4 years old and us going down to the lake, you know what I'm saying, and the waves crashing up on the side of the car, and he just really telling me all of his fucking problems and asking me like what I would do in that situation. Like that's crazy.
Wow. Are you
That's
serious?
crazy. Yeah, man, that's crazy. But me and my pops was close. Like he was like my best friend. He really was. You know what I'm saying?
You said
That's still
was past
that's still
tense.
that's still my dog. He's my dad is
Okay.
not my best friend now. I can
Nah,
honestly say that. I love my
yeah.
dad. You know what I'm saying? But it's like no. He's my best friend when I was young, when I was a kid.
Okay.
Before life whooped my ass. He was my best friend.
That's fair. That's a fair assessment.
Yeah.
But it is
But
crazy that you remember that shit though.
yeah, man. I remember a lot of shit, dude. But again, so having those real conversations at such a young age made me have to think logically. You know what I'm saying? I had to
Mm.
think when I got my real male role model, my grandfather, you know what I'm saying? He's telling me his religion is pragmatism, to think pragmatically. If it
Mm.
doesn't make sense, it cannot be right. If it does not make sense, it cannot be right. Which also kind of contradicts
Contradicts
itself
itself. Woo!
because
Talk to him, Pastor.
if that's the limit if it doesn't make sense, that means you're afraid of change. You know what I'm saying? You're afraid of the unknown if that's the way you think. And he's not that type because
Exactly.
the aliens, Bigfoot, like he loves that type of shit. But when he's thinking about like I guess in your day to day, if it doesn't make sense,
But the thing is, when it doesn't make sense, there has to be a reasonable explanation. That's one thing I've learned. When something does not make sense, there's a reasonable explanation. There always 1000% of the time. It
yeah,
is undeniable. There's a
your
reason why it
reasonable
happens.
explanation still might be some bullshit. Because
Yes,
if a
but it is a reason,
motherfucker that reason is sometimes a
a
reason
mistake.
that's completely unnecessary. It is a
Yes.
fucking so it don't
Yes.
make sense. If it's
No, no, no.
unnecessary, it doesn't make like telling somebody to pick up rocks. Move this
Mhm.
pile of rocks from over here to over here. Once it gets over
Yes.
here, move it back to over here. Okay, what are you
Yes.
teaching? You're teaching, I guess, discipline and learning. You know what I'm saying? Like how to respect authority. Is that what you're like?
Or
That's
it
some
could just be
bullshit.
simply that's your punishment. That makes sense.
Punishment. I know.
This is I mean, for those people okay, I'll give you a good example. And you know what? I'm glad you brought that up because I'm not trying to I'm gonna play devil's advocate for this one. I'm not trying to just justify any type of
Yeah,
stupidity
I
and
got
make
you.
it say it makes sense. I'm not trying to Kanye this shit, but I will say this, right? I will say this,
A
picking up rock
perfect example. A
it
perfect
is. It
fucking
is a perfect
example.
it is. When you tell somebody to pick up rocks and move them to one place and move them back, of course they're gonna say, and I see it, of course they're gonna say, "What the fuck? This doesn't make sense." Are they gonna do it? You could be testing a person's measure, a person's will, a person's loyalty. There's so many things behind that. But because that information is not given to you, it doesn't make sense.
Makes sense.
It's no different than we ask ourselves, why are we having so many UFO sightings over Lake Michigan? Well, that
Oh,
makes
none
sense,
of
but
that.
I don't wanna go into that. But there's so many things that you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's so many reasons. But you know what's funny? When they explain it to you or when it is explained to you, and it's the truth, because there's a lie and truth. When it's the truth is explained to you, you're like, "Oh, shit. That makes sense, but it's not that serious, and look how deep look how big it was for no
Mhm.
reason." Listen, the smallest things have got people killed, and the smallest things have saved many lives. Remember
Facts.
that. Remember
Oh,
that. That's the
okay.
truth.
This is one of those episodes.
I mean, hey, do whatever the fuck you wanna do,
Yeah.
but there's a reason behind it, bro. So I love the fact that he thinks like that, but I also believe that you also a person who thinks like that cannot, in logic, be dismissive to things that are the unknown to
Yeah, that
him.
they don't understand.
Exactly. You
That they don't
cannot be
understand.
dismissive. That's right.
Nope.
So, man, I love this. We're gonna have to take two. But yeah, bro. It's that type of vibe, you know what I'm saying? Yes, do what you
Yeah.
want, but just
So,
remember that
you
there's
I was
consequence. Yeah, go ahead.
exactly. It's consequences to every action, there's an opposite and equal reaction, right?
That's
What is
right.
that? Newton's third law?
I
No?
believe so.
One of them.
Mhm.
So, you gotta be calculated. Or you know what? You don't even gotta be calculated. What you gotta be willing to do is pay the price for whatever you do. There's a
That's right.
price for everything. There's a
Mhm.
price. You gotta name your price. I was reading the book, Think and Grow Rich, right?
Mm.
And in this book, I wish I had the book in front of me. Oh man. There was
Research department?
no,
Okay.
I think I got it. There was a part in here where and the steps that they are giving you to think and grow rich, and you can, when you read the book, you interpret it how you want to.
Mhm.
But one of the steps was to decide what you want, right? Whatever
Mhm.
your goal is, whatever, put a number on it. You know what I'm saying? If you want to be rich or whatever it is, it don't even got to be money. Whatever the goal is that you want to accomplish, you got to name it. You got to put a time frame on it, and you got to name the price that you're going to pay for it. What are you going to give up for this thing? What are you going to sacrifice? Is it going to be your time? Is it going to be money?
Mm.
Is it going to be your dignity? What the fuck is it going to be? What is going to be the price that you pay to obtain this goal?
Mm.
And when you name your price, this is where I'm bringing in the do what are you willing to sacrifice? I can't tell you what's a smart decision. I can't tell you what's a dumb decision. I don't live your life.
Mm.
So do what the fuck you got to do to make the
That's
shit
right.
happen that you want to happen.
Mm.
Period. Oh, do
Damn.
what you got to do.
Okay. Okay. You know what's crazy, bro? Fun
What?
fact. Okay, so we were talking about anime and the kids and all this other shit. I'm just gonna fast forward a little bit. It's funny you mention this. You wanna know my favorite anime show of all time is? And it was actually up until recently, it was one of the most reviewed, most watched, most everything, right? My favorite anime is Full Metal Alchemist. So
Hmm.
like dealing with alchemy. Does it have some type of satanic symbols? In some of it, yes, but they use it in alchemy. So the alchemy and law of alchemy in the show is whenever you are trying to create something or recreate something, you must give something of equal value in order to recreate what you're trying to create. For example,
Mm.
what can pay for life? Death, right? A life
Mm.
for a life. So if you're trying to bring someone back from the dead, you would essentially need to give a life for a life, right?
Hmm.
It's crazy that you say that because these are the same principles of alchemy, right? What is the price you're willing to pay for this that you desire? What is it? What are you willing to sacrifice? A lot of people don't realize this though. A lot of celebrities sacrifice time. They sacrifice time with those that they love. They
Hmm.
sacrifice so much because think about it. They have all this money in the world. They're not enjoying this money the way we would enjoy this money. They don't have time to enjoy this money.
Nope.
They have to continue to make more money in order to get what they want, right? And that's why you look at celebrities versus the common person. And let's take the average farmer, for example, may not be doing so hot, right? But they have work ethic, they have
Hmm.
discipline, they
Hmm.
have all these other characteristics that other people would want, but they don't have the time to dedicate it to it and the trust at that to believe that what they're doing is worth it. It's a very interesting concept. But
Yeah.
the reason why I brought Full Metal Alchemist up and the principles of what you're willing to sacrifice, many people don't realize that there's a cost to the things that they want in life. Would you I think that if they knew that, it would change the things they're asking for. Do you agree?
I mean, everybody knows there's a cost in life. You gotta pay to even live on this motherfucking planet. Everybody knows there's a cost, you know? It's I think what people don't realize is that that dreams are obtainable. I think that's the one thing because people don't you don't have time. Nobody has time to pursue their dreams. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't got time for that bullshit, bitch. My bills is due. Fuck
Mm,
all that other dumb shit. I don't have time for it. And in reality, you do. But if you do, that means you're sacrificing something. You're sacrificing sleep. You're sacrificing. You know what I'm saying? You're sacrificing
mhm.
something else. So a lot of people just aren't willing to make that sacrifice.
But, if you really start paying attention to, like, the red flags and paying attention to everything that's going on, you would do what you wanna do a lot more sooner if you were aware of this. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but that's also, you know what I'm saying, that's also belief. That's
Mm,
having belief in something. It's having belief in that toxic ass relationship or that toxic ass partner. Or, having belief in that everything is gonna just work itself out. When you believe, if you get a dog's loyalty, you know what I'm saying? Dog is loyalty, you can get that dog to believe everything they're doing is the right thing and end up walking them to his own death.
mm.
So it's that belief or the ignorance as well. The whole like if it don't make sense, it'll make sense if you had more information. But
True.
if you keep information, then it's just you're kind of blind or ignorant to the fact of where things are going. So I don't know, man. It's life is crazy. Whatever it is, though, whether you believe, whether it's ignorance, whether you don't believe, whether you know everything that's going and you just saying, fuck it, I'm gonna stab myself in the hand. I know it hurts. I like to twist this shit. You don't know what I'm into. Speaking of
That's right.
into, I want to talk about this shit too. Whatever it is, if that's your twist, do what you want to do. Who gives a fuck how I feel, how anybody else feels about something that you want to do? Because the only person that got to deal with the consequences of what the fuck you doing
It's you.
is you.
And hey, man, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. So let me ask you this though. This is the big question. Do you think doing what the fuck you want to do, well, we kind of already mentioned that it has consequences. Is it
Yeah.
worth it?
That's up for you to determine. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
Nobody else can tell you what a win is. And there are definitely some horrible losses, that are
hmm.
obvious losses. But if you don't take anything away from that loss, a lesson away from that loss, then you definitely lost. But if you take a lesson away from no matter what that lesson was, I feel like it's a win. Every
I
loss you
agree.
take, it can be flipped into a win.
That's true. That is true. And you know what? That's true. I believe that. I live by that, bro. For real.
But
Okay.
some people don't some people can't recognize, what I'm saying, the traits in that loss that could equate to a win. However, what I'm saying, that's up for you to determine what's a win and what's a loss. That's for you to do your due diligence
Mm,
and figure out, pick your loss apart to make it a win. I don't know if I had said this before on the show, but as a child, I was traumatized by the movie Hellraiser. Like that movie was the scariest. Pinhead was the scariest shit ever. Like I had nightmares. Like that was my boogeyman. You know what I'm saying? And I I just recently, what I'm saying, I'm talking about since for the past 25 years,
hmm.
I've had plenty of opportunities to sit down and watch this movie, and I have not because I real life had like I was scared of Pinhead, nigga. Like as a man, like I know this hey, fuck yeah, judge your mama, bitch. I was legit like I don't know why I still even like just recently I still had this little inkling in my head like man I don't want to watch that bullshit. Fuck that scary ass movie. So I fuck around and sat down and watched that shit yesterday,
Hmm.
and like it was nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like it was. I realized like Pinhead and his little crew like they wasn't. It ain't the scariest shit ever. It was just some freaks.
Yeah.
They just some nasty motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? My favorite part of the movie is the chick was like, "Who are you?" And he was like, "Some call us demons, others call us angels of pleasure." Like that shit broke down everything to make me again tie it back to this episode. No matter what
Mm,
somebody else thinks of you, somebody else could think something completely the fuck opposite. Who gives a fuck? Who
mm.
cares? Who cares what they think? Do you? Somebody gonna like it, somebody gonna love it, somebody gonna hate that shit. Think it's fucking whack, corny, all of that other shit. Who gives a fuck? Don't worry about
Yo,
the bullshit. You know?
yeah, yo, that's fucking crazy because
Angels of pleasure.
did you know that that whole pinhead shit, according to like the books and shit, was supposed to he was supposed to be like trans,
A
like
word?
in between. Yeah, I swear to God, that's why the new Hellraiser on Hulu. I don't know if you know about that, but everyone's talking
Yeah.
about it. It says it's really scary. He has like feminine features. They even said in the book he had feminine features. So, if you really want to talk about it and doing his due diligence, back then he was supposed to have like feminine features. He's supposed to look like a girl, bro.
That's even
Real shit.
scarier. It's even
It is
scarier.
right.
I'm gonna have to check
But
out the new one.
yeah, man, the new one, it's really good. I heard it's really fucking good. I skip over it personally because I'm not fucking with that shit. But yeah, it makes sense. Do what you
But
want to do, like you said.
again, you know what I'm saying? Like, I for some reason that shit, and I know I've seen scary. The Exorcist is a scary ass movie. You know what I'm
To this
saying?
day,
Bro, scary as hell, way scarier than Hellraiser. But it was something about it. I don't know what it was, but I was legitimately traumatized as a child by this shit.
me
Maybe it's because
too.
I got exposed to it too early. Maybe that's what it was.
I still watch that movie and I'm like, I don't want to. I don't even fuck around with those exorcism movies because I
That
don't
that ain't
know if
even an
it's
exorcism movie, bro. Like he comes
really
out this
not.
little box, like it's ain't no exercise in that shit. He said, "You solved the puzzle. You opened the gate." Like, damn, I just y'all here because I
Yo,
solved the puzzle. Fuck.
man, I don't know, man. I don't fuck around with that shit though. I just feel like, especially with all the shit we talk about, like you do what you want to do, but I'm very cautious when it comes to that shit.
Yeah.
Extremely. I don't even like watching movies like that to keep it real with you. I don't even want to make movies like that because I'm just like I don't want to. The more you gotta dive into this information and
Mm-hmm.
dissect this type of shit. I don't want nothing to do with that
Yeah.
side
And the
of the world.
more you start diving into
Unveiling that
things
shit,
like that.
yes,
Yeah.
it's
Yep.
hard to unsee it and unknow it. Yes,
That's what they say about the third eye. Once the third eye is open, can't be closed, player. Ain't no
yeah.
closing it.
I know.
Yep.
That's why I think the way I think now, and I feel like I'm fucked up, but I'm not. I'm not fucked up. I just
So
have
some
a better understanding.
exactly. You got more information.
That's it. That's
So
all
you
it
see
is.
things from a different perspective. And that's what life is all about, man. It's perspective. You know, it's all
Mm.
about I had taken we had talked about that movie with Joey Badass. You ever brought it up.
Yes, yes,
And I
yes.
watched it. I sat down and watched it. Me and the wife watched it, and that's a really fucked up movie. It is. But it is
Hmm.
also in tune with what we're talking about right here. Is some things are sometimes the end result is the end result no matter what you do.
Hmm.
So enjoy your time while you can. You know what I'm saying? Do what the fuck you want to do
Mm.
before it's too late and now you regret it. You
That's
looking
an
back like,
awesome.
man, I should have, I would have, I could have. No, bitch, just do it.
That is an awesome fuck. Yo, honestly, I was not expecting that. I was not
Yeah.
expecting that. That is
You
an
like that?
awesome. Nah,
Come on,
I'm
bro.
impressed. You want to know? I'm impressed.
Come on, man.
I'm
I'm a
impressed.
wordsmith, nigga. I got away with these motherfuckers. I
I'm
talk
impressed.
all day, every day. All I do is fucking
Shit.
talk.
It shows, nigga, because that was good. Because you think about this shit. For those who watch the movie, first of all, you're gonna understand what he's saying. It's like no matter what the fuck you do, right? It's gonna happen. So if you know it's gonna happen, you just gotta accept that shit, right? And hey, live your life the way you would want to as if it was your last day. That's kind of what the fuck he's saying and what we are saying. And it's like, don't think about the opinions of others. You know what I'm saying? If you want to go out there and buy that Benz and you have your credit at 450, then fuck it, nigga, do it. You know,
Hey,
there's a
live your best
consequence.
life, man.
Yeah, man.
You're gonna have to pay, but
Yeah.
do
But
what
you
the
know what's
fuck you
funny?
wanna do, man.
Even though you know you can do what you want to do, you can always think to yourself, is it worth it to me? Is it
Mm-hmm.
truly worth it? And that makes you open up. Let me ask you this, right? And I'm getting to my point. It makes you open up a different thought process of like, okay, well, do I really want it now? Or am I doing it for others? Because when we
Yeah.
say do what you want to do, we're not talking about do what you want to do to impress others. We're talking about do what makes you happy. And again, we've spoken about consequences a countless amount of times about in this episode about, there's consequences for what you do. So if you want to go murder people, do know
Yeah,
there's consequences. You want to go talk to
absolutely.
little kids, there's consequences. You know that. But
Sick bastard.
true, but they're sick, right? And they're doing what they want to do. That's what we're telling them to go do. But my
Yep.
biggest thing when it comes to this whole type of reality, because that's what we're shaping a reality.
Mhm.
It makes you really wonder, do I really want to do that? Or am I doing it because of other factors? And it makes you evaluate what you want to do and what you don't want to do. It makes you really get in tune with yourself. It's a really good exercise if you think about it. It makes you really reflect inwards. What do I really want out of life? What was gonna really make me happy? Some people will be like, yo, I don't have to work and just being taken care of. There's so many ways to do that.
Mhm.
Find one, pick one, and you're gonna have to sacrifice. What are you gonna
You
have to
gotta
sacrifice? Time.
exactly,
There you go.
exactly. You gotta make the sacrifice, and that sacrifice could be your time, that sacrifice could be your concentration, whatever it is, you gotta sacrifice something,
Mhm.
you know? That's the name of
Mm,
the game though, baby. You gotta pay to play. You gotta pay to play.
that's true.
The difference is you just gotta name your price. You can't think everything in currency and money.
There's some
So,
niggas that gave up their firstborn child, their children
facts. Yeah.
to do what they do.
So, boom, I had fuck around and stumbled across some shit in a rabbit
Mhm.
hole,
Okay.
and they were talking about Christianity and its pagan roots,
Mhm.
right? And how Easter is, the fertility goddess Ishtar, right?
Mhm.
And how they would have their orgies and their sex festivals around spring,
Mhm.
and then what happens after you have an orgy or sex festival,
These
right?
babies.
Babies start popping up. And so they would sacrifice their children in December when they were born to the god Moloch. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? That's crazy. So, sometimes you pay to play and other times you play and then you got to pay after. But at any time, whatever you're doing, there's always some type of sacrifice. If you want to get something accomplished, got to
it's
sacrifice
true.
something.
It's
Like
like that
we
cycle.
exactly. And I know it seems like we beating a dead horse here, but the whole subject behind this, the whole point of this episode is just so you do what the fuck you want to do, bro.
Mhm.
If your money fucked up where I'm at right now, so I'm putting things into motion as we speak, and things have gotten a
Mhm.
lot better ever since I started thinking like this. I started making some shit happen for myself,
That's true.
manifesting some shit.
That's true.
You
Facts.
know, you pick a goal, you determine the sacrifice you're willing to make, and sometimes the sacrifice that you're willing to make is just answering that call,
Mm,
answering that message. Then you're sacrificing time, but you're getting to where you need to be.
facts. You
Mm.
cannot dispute that nor argue with it. Awesome
Oh,
episode, man.
great episode, man. Great episode. We
Yes.
appreciate y'all coming for chilling with us again. It's always a pleasure. I hope we get those wheels turning for you.
That's
And
right.
again, like we said, man, I'm just trying to scratch that itch. Whatever itch you got, we try to scratch that thing for you. So I'm hoping we able to do that for you. But I'm Mo,
I'm say,
and this will say how you feel. Do what you want to. Fuck them.
do you stay true and can't lose.
Peace.